Hey again, welcome back. I think the last video we saw about the categories. Now let's go to transactions. Okay, here we can choose the date, the category, the type, the amount, description, any account or something. Okay, maybe let me choose December 1st as my salary. So I choose income. I choose salary as my income. Maybe I'll keep it as 1 lakh for now. Like my salary for December. Which account does it goes? Let's say maybe minus SBI. I just type SBI. I mean, these both are optional. I mean, it's just for internal purpose to track it. Now, when I click on add transaction, your transactions are added. Okay. Now, where do I see what has been added? Go to view transaction. You choose your date. You can filter it out based on that. You can see all the data maybe with the type now this shows all. Maybe you want to see there's no record, right? We added only income, and the income was only from salary. Let's try bonus. Now you don't see salary. Yes, and this view transaction has an option to edit with inline. This is a rare scenario for multiple reasons as of now, but this is how it is. But in the future I will be disabling this, make it really read only, and only based on certain scenarios it gets deleted. Okay, so this is a view transition. Now let's go for dashboard. All right, see here you can still choose a date from and to, but as I said in the earlier video, it's always on the current month first date till date. Okay, now we added an income. Remember, we added 1 lakh in the transaction. That is what comes here, right? The income breakdowns. Um, this is a recent transaction, like not everything. I think we plan. I'm just showing only five. The last five transaction comes here. Okay, again back to the topic we are in, add transaction, right? Now let's do couple of type of thing. Expense, maybe you have had an EMI, right? Or education. Let's go with the rent for now. Okay, now maybe rent I'm just taking as 10K, maybe to my landlord. Okay, now what happens here? This either you would have paid it as cash, UPI, other factors, but if at all you have paid it as credit card, you mark it as credit card. Why credit card? Because we already have an option of to track credit card, right? So that is where your monthly generated bills credit card you update, so that the double calculation of expenses are not calculated. Though you pay from this, it considers an expense. Then from credit card, when the final settlement comes, it includes this 10K, right? For that reason, I have created this. In our case, we are not using it as credit card. To show you the difference, I will add a 10K rent transaction. Go to my dashboard again. You see my expense, right? Now this expense, if you see 10,000 and banking. So banking is again um, where you do a transaction with the bank, that I'll just show in the transaction part. So now again the categories breakdown. See, we paid rent, right? So this rent thing comes in. Again transaction, maybe an expense. Okay, maybe what another thing mm, I would do is like, maybe for entertainment I would have spent 300 for a movie. Let's assume it was for a movie. I paid it by credit card. I add as transaction. Go to my transaction. You see this 10K is still the 10K. The 300 does not come because we paid it in credit card, right? Now maybe let's add one more transaction called credit card. Maybe I'll choose HDFC. Maybe the final amount, including the 300 from movie and other Expenses paid with credit card, maybe that come to 5k. You add it. Right, let's go to dashboard again. Now you see the credit card is 5k. So that's income was 1 lakh, your expense was 10 and credit card was 5. So 5 plus 10, 15, and remaining saving is 85k. So that is how you'll know your net saving. I will use this entirely for transaction alone. Let's do an investment. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now what is this? For example, let's say you add an RD. Let's say monthly 1,000 rupees you would have done for 10 months. That would have become 10,000. Now you want to convert it to FD, right? Now 10,000 is an investment, and when you create a new transaction with FD 10,000, system may consider as 20,000, but actually you are reinvesting the 10k what you've already invested, right? For that purpose, we check this. When it is checked, it considers only as one record. For now, without this, let's say I've taken as FD of 10k. I've invested maybe which bank if you want. As I said, it's all optional. So I've added as transaction investment. Now if you go for dashboard, you see your investment, right? 10k. So this is your investment. Okay. um this portfolio and analytics, I would show it later, but just for a quick view, just to see how based on the current data, your net worth is 85,000. You see, you have in hand cash after the deductions of expenses is 75k, and that you have 10k as investment as FD what we did, right? If you scroll down, we can see the mode of investment what we have. This portfolio is entirely driven with the data what you have in. It is not for a year, quarter, nothing. Liabilities we don't have as of now, so that is left. Now analytics. Okay, so analytics, let's go for the current month. By default it's current month. This is where you see your credit card, your expense, income, investments, everything. Maybe for better graph, I'll just use year to date. When I choose year to date, it is from Jan 1 to Jan 7. As of now, we have entered only for December month. That's why 1 lakh your expense, your investment, your credit card, remaining savings. Now we can see the income and expense tab in this for what you spent, your investment and debt, where I invested for this year. Let's go for, since we invested in this current month, maybe you're saying let's go for the previous month. And if you see there is no data, you get the point, right? So that's how it is. Okay, now credit card, yes, you have for 25. This is cumulative of credit cards for which credit cards you have spent. As you have multiple credit cards, the graph looks better and more number of records. And you see the highest month and the lowest month, which for maybe in 12 months you would have used your credit card, and maybe some month it was highest and some month is lowest. So you can see the average spending. Okay, now vehicle tracking. We have not added anything. Comparison, this is just to see your year view, like from 24 to 25, the expense, the savings, or particularly with the month, between the 2 months, like October versus November or October versus December. So this is where you see your expense and income forecast. This is still a work in progress, but for now, the main idea of forecast is based on expenses from the current year. It shows an average expense that you can predict for the next year. Well, this is not an AI driven, but this is basically a linear approach. OTT, we have not added, and you see there's a new tab called rent has come, right? That the reason is because we had paid the rent. Okay, anything that starts with the rent, including, when I say anything which start with rent, go for categories. In expense, you'd have seen rent, right? So whenever you create one more category to track rent, start with rent and create, for example, rent maintenance is separate, or rent water bill is separate, or something like that, right? So everything under rent comes under your analytics rent view. Okay. um so I think this video covered the transaction, in detail, but there's a couple of things which I'll take it in the next video. View transaction, yes. That view I just showed quickly, but we'll add categories was done. Then analytics I've showed it in view. Then quarterly also you have an option. You can choose a year. I think if you had a record in 2024, maybe you could choose 2024 and choose which quarters data you want to see. I think we added in December, so Q4 shows all this graphical part. Okay, and custom. Maybe you see current month and previous month, but we don't have October month. Then you can choose your October from this custom option. Okay, so this is basically your analytics. Profile we already saw. Categories are done. um, Portfolios also I've showed, but as and when we add little couple of things we see this. Okay, so yeah, it's a part one of the main usage. We'll see how many parts it can go. Thank you. See you in the next video.